so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked. That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up, and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live on Twitch and on the dropshot.com/live. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 164. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined with a brand new hat, or at least a hat I've never had the opportunity to see before. Spherical Ice Cube boy Tanner.
Hey.
Is that a new hat? Is it a real new hat?
Well, it's part of the announcements. You'll have to wait a little bit longer. We'll get to it.
Cool, man.
It's a
Cool
different
and
hat,
awesome.
though, for sure. Yeah, it's a
It
new
is
hat.
a different hat. Yeah, well. So for those of you who only listen to the podcast, Tanner always wears the same hat every single episode.
Not
He's
the
never
same
once
one.
washed it.
Yeah, okay.
It's falling apart. There's holes in it. It's disgusting.
It's glued to my head.
Perhaps it is. And he's filthy. Welcome to the show. Today, we are doing an episode for which Saturday episodes were made. This is going to be a very on point Saturday ep. And today we're going to be talking about Vanguard. Strictly Vanguard, but we're going to be talking fairly loosely about it. We're going to go over maybe some of the things we know about it. So perks, weapons, field upgrades, shit like that. We're going to be touching on those things, but more than that, we're going to be talking about our predictions for how these things will play out in multiplayer. So on our last Patreon episode, patreon.com/thedropshot, of course, $5 a month, we talked about what is in the beta and kind of went over how we kind of expect each thing to do, how well it will perform individually. But now we're taking more of a holistic kind of look at it and seeing what are the meta perks going to be? What's the meta weapon category going to be? Etc. So kind of a weird format, but once we get into it, you guys will understand, I think. So before that, just a couple of announcements. This announcement right now is an announcement about an announcement.
Oh, yeah, it is. A big announcement.
This is an announcement to tell you that there will be another announcement that will not be announcing an announcement. It'll be an actual announcement on Wednesday. Okay. Very exciting announcement. Fun and exciting, one might say. That you will want to tune in for. So I was going to say, if you normally skip the announcements, don't skip them on Wednesday. But if you normally skip the announcements, you fucking skipped this already. So that was a dumb thought for me to have.
Yeah.
Much like Tanner's mother. Now, I will say, dumb thought, it was a pun. Wasn't great.
I got it, yeah.
Not my best work.
It's average. Yeah.
And I'm sure your mother's great. I've never met her. And you should keep her away from me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She'd have a stroke. Very exciting announcement on Wednesday. We're very much looking forward to sharing that with everyone. So listen to it and be here live if you can. That'll be cool.
You should
for
be
you
here
to
live.
be here live.
You should be here live
Yeah,
on
let's
Wednesday.
get here live, dude. Let's get here live.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And we already hinted at this last night in our Patreon hangout, which we do every week, by the way, for our patrons. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Best way to support the show. And speaking of that hangout, by the way, perhaps the funniest hangout that has ever taken place. perhaps the funniest one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've laughed harder at a hangout. Holy fucking shit. So, the funniest thing that happened was Dusty he is raving about his phone, which costs 1,800 United States dollars, as he's told us 1,000 times.
Numerous times, yeah.
Oh, so many times.
Most expensive phone in the Discord, yeah.
It's possible it's the most expensive phone on Earth.
Yeah.
As we know, clearly. So he's talking about his phone, and then it comes to light that he has spent more on this phone. His phone costs more than his computer does. So naturally, we're all shitting on him for it. Like, hey, the fuck is wrong with you? You should definitely spend more on your computer than your phone. Which I stand by the way. I think
absolutely.
It's fucking insane. But anyways, so we're shitting on him. And then, without a word, once we all kind of say our piece, he doesn't say a goddamn thing. And we're sharing our cameras in Discord. He doesn't say a word. He just looks at the camera, brings up his phone, and then folds it. And that was it. And I cried. I cried for a long time laughing. Because one of the I should have mentioned this. One of the features of the phone is that it can fold.
It's a folding phone.
It is a folding phone.
We're going back in time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So he just sunned us by folding the phone into the camera, and it was deeply amusing. And also, yeah, hey, there were folding phones when I was a sophomore in high school. So I don't know.
That's when they were popular. Yeah, like freshman, sophomore year. I
remember
had
the
one of
Razor.
those. Yeah.
Who made the Razor? Samsung?
It had the buttons on the front and a little screen, and then you flipped it open and it had the full keyboard and a bigger screen. Yeah, it was clutch.
That's the yeah.
Came in like dog shit colors too, like maroon and like navy blue, like weird colors
Motorola,
for phones.
okay.
Yeah, it wasn't Motorola. Yeah. Well, I guess it was Motorola. Probably
the Razor he's talking about. Yeah, I know what phone you're referring to though, but it isn't the Razor. It's like you slide it up, you use it like horizontally. I don't know. I don't care.
I know which one you're talking about though too. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking. They were all like that actually. So yeah, we're just describing every phone in 2008. So
cool. Anyways, that was deeply amusing, and then we were also trolling the fuck out of Shigo Hart, who was very drunk, and we talked about brisket mac and cheese for about 3 hours, which was deeply amusing as well. And you know, you had to be there. We're not going to retell everything.
It was funny.
If you're a patron, you can come to the Hangouts every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, of course.
Yeah.
And you know,
that was pretty lit.
I just wanted to remind everyone, or regale everyone, with the tale of last night, because it was really fucking funny. And I still do want to try brisket mac and cheese, by the way. I actually do. It sounds delicious. Never heard of it.
You really hadn't heard of it before?
No,
actually, that's a pretty common thing. I've never had it, but yeah, I've heard of it.
I've heard of like buffalo mac and cheese, which,
it's just something
we talked about quite a bit, but not brisket mac and cheese. No,
it's just something you eat with leftover brisket, because you know you make brisket and it's so big, so it's just one of those things like you make the next day with it.
It's smart.
Yeah, it's good.
Makes sense.
Well,
so,
I don't know it's good, but I would imagine it's good.
Yeah, well, brisket fucks.
Especially brisket from Firehouse Subs.
True, as you've been told by 3 people now. So anyways, all that to say, be here Wednesday. Also, Slivovitz was feeling very generous this morning, I guess, because I woke up to a little email, a little electronic mail from PayPal.com that said I received a very generous, extremely generous, really, donation of 100 fucking United States dollars, dude.
Let's go.
Out of nowhere. Why? But very much appreciated. There was a kind message accompanying this very generous contribution. And we really appreciate it, Sliv. So, yeah, again, out of fucking nowhere, we'll take it, of course. And that is really the best way to support the show. Patreon.com, sure, it's great. It's arguably the best way to support the show. You know what's better though? 100 United States dollars in the PayPal, dude. That's actually the best way.
Yeah. So you've been lying to everyone all these months.
Well, Patreon's the best for you guys because that's where we give all of our bonus content. The best for us, which is of course what matters, is a 100 or more United States dollars donation via PayPal or Cash App, $Razinon, or Venmo even.
Yeah.
Zelle?
Well,
I don't care, dude. Cash in an envelope in the brim of a hat, perhaps?
Yeah. Oh, that's been done before.
We've done that one before.
That's been done before.
Smuggle
Sent to
it
the P.O.
dude.
box, cold, hard cash, yeah.
We will take it.
We
will take it.
Sliv goes to the next level because he was like, hey, he messaged me. He's like, hey, I changed to annual Damascus, which we'll get to next Wednesday, by the way, the new patrons. And he was like, I don't want to give Patreon more money. And so he's like, I'm just going to send you guys cash every so often. So here you go. Here's $100. And I upped to annual Damascus. I was like, Jesus. Sliv. Thanks, buddy. Holy shit.
Just outrageous. And Slivovitz is, of course, old as shit, as we've talked about. So I will eventually be doing a wellness check on him. I'm in contact with his children, his caretakers, some might call them, to make sure that this is not a negligent waste of his money, his estate, really. But
well, I'm in his will. Are you not?
No, I'm not, and that'll be
maybe you should read your DMs.
Of course, be rectified as well. Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to be it, so I said sure. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sliv, thank you, dude. Really fucking generous. Really, really, very much appreciated, brother. King shit. Indeed.
Yeah, thank you very much, dude.
And then for all the new patrons and shit, we do that on Wednesdays now. So figure it out. We're not skipping anyone. Relax. We'll get to it. Have patience. Exercise some patience. We'll have a lot to say on Wednesday. So, well, maybe. I don't know about Call of Duty, but we'll have a lot to say about
Wednesday's going to be an announcement episode, yeah.
It's going to be, and it's going to be fantastic. And we'll talk about Call of Duty as necessary. If new things come out, we'll talk about them. You know the vibes.
You know what we should address on Wednesday? We should address
on Wednesday
that are playing during the episodes that people may be hearing when a comes up.
Oh,
because people have been asking about that in the Discord. We never really said anything, so maybe we should about on Wednesday.
The implication that we don't know about is just so insane. And to say,
I wouldn't know
did
either.
You guys know that is happening?
I wouldn't know either.
How would we not know?
No, I get it. I would also think it could just be from the platform that they're listening on. That's what my thought
maybe,
always was.
I guess.
So we should just hit that real quick next Wednesday as well, because that'll be an announcement episode. Cool.
Yeah, we might as well fucking crunch them all in. So anyway,
let's crunch, yeah.
Cool. We could talk about why the timestamps are kind of wonky too. Yeah. All right. Anyways, whatever. Other than that, Tanner, that's it for announcements from me. Anything from you?
Yeah. So that new hat you were talking about earlier, this one right here, this hat, was sent to our P.O. box, courtesy of Gaming Boomer. What is it? Oh, it's Boomertown Gaming now. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, not Gaming Boomer. Boomertown Gaming, Twitch streamer, sent me this hat with his logo on it. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know him in real life, but his name is Boomertown Gaming. Yeah, it's him. That's
all
the hat.
I can read is Boomer.
It doesn't
Town
show
Gaming
up
underneath it.
It doesn't show up real well. So Chris, thank you very much. And also, there's something close here for Raz. I'll just open it. Let's take a little look.
If it's that hat, it might as well be kindling.
It's not a hat.
Okay.
He knows your style, so he got you this, which is a Boomertown Gaming tank top with his little logo on it.
Oh, it's a tank? Okay, I'll wear a tank.
There we go. Now he can wear the tank, yeah.
Is that a large?
I don't know what it is.
Let's check the size, dude.
Let's check the size. It's a large.
Okay, well.
Not like he knows your belly's only getting bigger, so.
That is true, yeah. We'll see how that fits. So really drop the ball on that one, Chris. But maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll fit. Well, hey, thanks for spending advertising revenue on us so we can just plaster your logo on our bodies to endorse you, to advertise for you.
Yeah, if anyone wants to do the same, send us your shit. I need some
Yeah,
clothes.
dude.
I can't afford my own, so send me some shirts.
If you want to send us a checklist of chores you have to do that we can do for you, awesome, man. Just give us shit to help you. Great, dude. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's a funny joke, but yeah, we'll look into the tank top for sure. I don't wear large. I am a fat piece of shit, but I'm still, I don't know. I'm 6 feet tall.
You should try a large shirt, see how it fits you.
I'll try it. The problem is I'm fat, but I'm not heavy. That's the issue, because I just have no muscle at all. It's just fat. So it's like I'm fat, but not heavy.
You
so
a
what
chubby
size does
medium.
someone-
That's a good way to describe it, yeah. You're a chubby.
Yeah, a chubby medium,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, I don't think I've crossed the threshold into large,
Yeah,
like almost everyone listening has. So yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
We'll
true.
see.
Yeah.
But anyways, Chris, thank you. I'll attempt to wear your tank top if it fits.
Nice.
Like a fucking billboard.
Yeah. He should be paying us every time we wear it.
Really? I mean,
Based
he
on the
should be
number of
paying us
listens
for-
that episodes get, he should pay us when we wear his merch. Let's
If he
make him
doesn't
sign a
pay us
contract.
before tomorrow, we'll be editing this part out.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
are your thoughts
Yeah,
on that?
True.
Yeah,
Well, he did already give
okay.
me some subs, so he paid me.
Oh, all right. Well, okay.
Yeah.
You can. Okay. Anyways, anything else?
No.
All right. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
Ah.
Oh yeah. How are you feeling? You don't sound as sick. You don't sound like fucking shit, like you have been.
Serviceable. Fine.
On a scale of 0 to 100%, what are you at?
10.
No.
Nah, I don't know. 96.4.
Oh wow, you're right there.
Yeah, you think? Pretty much just have snot coming out of my nose, and sometimes I can't hear, so yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a
well,
disaster still. But
that doesn't sound like 96% to me, but anyway. Welcome to the show. Today, we are talking Vanguard predictions for how the video game will play in multiplayer. And I'll get into that in a second. When the game comes out. So first, real quick, playlist updates. This is in reference to Vanguard. So Sledgehammer tweeted a couple things. In response to player feedback, we've removed TDM and kill confirmed with tactical combat pacing from quick play. What? Why? Why would they do that?
I think people were saying it was too slow or something.
Wow.
I've already seen a lot of things.
TDM too slow.
People saying Red Star 6v6 is just unplayable because it's too big. It's like,
That I
I
believe.
wonder if those people were saying when Grozny Raid came out in Euphrates Bridge, right? Wait, I guess Euphrates was it sixes?
Euphrates was 10s, but Grozny could be 6s or 10s.
Yeah, was it not sixes?
I don't
for
think
anything?
Euphrates could be 10s or 6s. But Grozny, you absolutely could play 6s.
Grozny, I know you could.
Yeah. Well, Sledgehammers. I don't know. That is surprising. Imagine. Could you envision a world 2 years ago where 6 versus 6 players playing team deathmatch in Call of Duty multiplayer would be taken out of the game because of player feedback?
Right.
Like, how much different of a game has this become all of a sudden? Like, oh yeah, 6v6 killing each other? That's too slow. We need to take that out of the game.
Hey, good for them.
I mean,
well,
yeah.
well, I mean,
on board.
TDM and kill confirmed should be taken out of Call of Duty entirely, so that's fine.
Yeah, those are shit game modes. That is true. But anyways, removed Hotel Royal from patrol while we investigate spawns.
Dude, the spawns were awful. People
Really?
like teams were literally both spawning on the same side of the map. So both of them outside. I saw this like 20-second clip. As soon as everyone died, they were all respawning in the same exact spot on the same exact map. So you spawn in, die, spawn in again, an enemy spawns basically inside of you. I mean, less than a foot in front of you. Everyone just starts shooting. That same thing happened like 20 seconds in a row in this clip. And they were like Vanguard spawns in a nutshell. I think it was one of the CDL pros, but it was fucking horrible. So that's good.
I wonder why it would be specific to Patrol. Patrol is the moving hardpoint game mode for those of you listening.
Yeah.
Why do you think it would be specific to that? It's just like the spawns are the same as TDM.
Because it's a new game mode and they haven't tested it enough, or I don't know. That's probably my guess.
Yeah, maybe the hard point is just moving through spawns. So normally it wouldn't be an issue, but because everyone's trying to be there. Yeah, I don't know. That's odd. But cool, they're looking into it. Also, increase the frequency of blitz and assault matches in quick play for higher intensity gameplay. Cool. Added Blitz TDM as a featured playlist. Cool. Be older. And then also this, which I find more interesting. We're aware that there's a significant amount of discussion around player visibility and audio mixing. Stay tuned as we will address some of our planned updates later this week. That I'm very pleased with because it'll be hopefully in time for our experience of the beta. And then we can actually play with the tuned or different visibility and audio mixing implemented. And I also find this fairly... I was going to say I find this fairly promising because this is now the second time they've mentioned both visibility and the audio mix, and that bodes well. However, Call of Duty always does this.
Yep.
They're super communicative in the first month of the game or before, and then they just all delete their accounts and don't tweet until next year when they're promoting the next unpolished, unfinished pile of shit game.
I know.
So this could be good. This isn't bad, but we'll see what they do. I think the fact that they've said it, they already have plans. So there will be changes. To what degree player visibility and audio mixing get better remains to be seen. I'm certainly more optimistic on the audio mixing front because that seems like an easier problem to solve
100%.
than player visibility.
Yeah. I don't know what they would do at this point when it comes to player visibility, honestly.
They've said that they've increased the little outline around players already, so maybe they just do more of that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the audio issues seem like it seems like an easier thing to fix, but then you think about the audio in the last few CODs and you realize, oh, never mind, they don't know what they're doing. So I would.
They don't know how to fix.
Yeah, it's funny you said that though, because that's the same thing I wrote down. Like it sounds like they're on top of it pretty quickly. But
shit, you did.
I'm almost positive you can go back and listen to us when Cold War came out, or when Cold War was in the beta, and we'll say, oh, they seem like they're listening to the community, because Treyarch really was actually at the start. And actually, you know, in their defense, I think they did listen to the community in general. The game just fucking sucked and it was too far gone.
Yeah, Treyarch
but they actually did make they actually
Mm-hmm.
did make quite a few changes based on player feedback. Infinity Ward and MDev, of course, did not. They ignored all of it because it all went directly to Ashton Williams, and she doesn't read any of those things.
Oh yeah, she blocked every account with a suggestion.
Yeah, no, she was too busy tweeting for Biden's election. But yeah, so that's cool, but also they say that every year. So we'll come back to this in January and see how they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Someone remind us in January to come back to this.
True. You know what else I'm wondering too is now that there are destructible environments, I wonder how and if that would factor into the audio, like footstep audio. So for example, if you're on the other side of a wall that's indestructible, your footstep volume will be whatever, 50%. if you're the same distance but there's no wall, it'll be 100%. But what if there's a destructible wall there that hasn't been destroyed yet? Is it 60%? 70%?
Yeah.
What if it's halfway destroyed? What if it's totally destroyed? And what if that fucks everything up? Like, I can envision you being 5 meters from me on the other side of where a wall once was but has now been destroyed, but it sounds like you're behind a wall that's not destructible because that mechanic exists and that whole field is like fucking things up, and it could like produce audio issues.
Yeah.
I could be nothing, I don't know, but it does. It's worth thinking about, I think.
I would imagine there's going to be more problems arise from that. So yeah, that wouldn't be surprising at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it for that. Now we're going to get into the brisket and potatoes of today's episode, which
the brisket
is
and mac with cheese.
Yeah, the brisket and the mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Oh yeah. Make sure you add cheese to your mac and cheese. That's an important ingredient in mac and cheese, for sure. So
yeah.
And macaroni would be good too. Okay, Vanguard predictions / beta review as they relate to multiplayer. So, starting with this caveat, number one, we're only talking about multiplayer tonight. We don't have enough information on Warzone. We could and perhaps will do an episode on how Warzone will perform post Vanguard integration. But
we will at a point for sure.
Yes. Yeah, we will at a point, but I think what we're going to do, or what we want to do anyway, is wait until we know, is it just the map? Is it the weapons? How many attachments are the weapons going to have? Are the perks changing over, etc.? So there's still too much in the air to kind of do that episode, but for multiplayer, we can definitely do it. So also, second caveat, we don't know of all perks. We might, but we're not sure. Or field upgrades or weapons. So we're going to talk about what we anticipate the multiplayer meta to be tonight and kind of just general predictions on how individual features will perform when Vanguard comes out. But obviously we don't have all the information yet. So this is all to be determined, of course.
Yeah. Also, there's stuff that's like, a lot of it's leaks, but we're not even really going to touch on any of that. We're just going to go with what we know 100% is in the game. And like what's in the beta and stuff right now. So yeah, that's what we're going to go with.
That's a nice little note here. What does this say?
Oh yeah. This will be a good episode to listen back on in 6 months, and see how every single thing we said in this episode changed and how we run none of these perks now, none of these field upgrades. I don't know. These episodes are always interesting because people bring that up and out in the Discord like weekly. They're like, "Oh my god, I just listened to your guys' episode about MDub and how you guys like thought Warzone was gonna suck, and it does, but it's still better than multiplayer." And all these different things. So that's episodes like these are interesting because in 6 months they'll be probably so far off that it'll be funny to go back and listen to and like see what we were thinking back at that moment. Versus, what's true to that day.
Yeah. Yeah, that is worth saying because this is early to be making predictions.
Yeah, this is before we've even played yet, so.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're definitely going to get some of this right. But we're probably going to be wrong about some things too. So in no particular order, we're going to go through features in the video game. So we'll start with perks and like the meta perk loadout. So you get 3 perk slots, and they are fairly different than... Their distribution is fairly different than MDub. So a lot of these perks that we're going to see in Vanguard are the same as the perks in Modern Warfare. But for example, Ghost, EOD, Restock, and Battle Hardened are all in the same perk category. So you could run like 3 of those perks on one class in Modern Warfare. you can only run one of them in one class in Vanguard. So the perks are kind of the same, but their distribution and what you can run with what is not, at least right now. Now, in Modern Warfare, they did change where perks go. So Kill Chain was once a red perk, and they moved it to a blue perk. So that normally doesn't happen in Call of Duty. I don't think it ever happened prior to Modern Warfare, at least not as far as I know. But the fact that it did happen in Modern Warfare is just worth noting because it's possible they shift some perks around in this game too. Because now we know that they're open to doing it and that they will do it like they did in MW again. So I'm thinking if I was going to get into the beta right now, I would run these 3 perks. Number 1, Ghost. Number 2, either High Alert or Piercing Vision. Probably High Alert. And then number 3 kind of depends on... Well, it depends on a couple things. So Scavenger's in that category. Lightweight is in that category, which we haven't seen in a while. And Overkill is in that category as well. So if I'm running out of ammo a lot, I'm probably going to use Scavenger. I cannot fucking stand running out of ammo. I hate it, especially in multiplayer, because what will happen is I'm shredding, I'm leveling my gun, I'm enjoying it, I have it set up nicely how I want, and then I'm out of ammo. So then I pick up a gun from some level 2 who's 0 and 13, and I just found out why. Because his gun is fucking awful. It's like a 1911 with an 8x thermal scope on it, and a oil can suppressor, and then I'm just fucked. So, cringe. So I really like Scavenger, depending on what I'm giving up. Overkill? It's good, but in multiplayer, I can do without it.
Absolutely.
I'd probably rather have Scavenger than Overkill in multiplayer, unless I'm like sniping and I want to have like an SMG with my sniper if people run up on me or something. You know what else I just noticed, by the way? I didn't see anything like amped in our list so far. I wonder where that will go.
Yeah.
Or if it'll even be a perk.
There are rumors that Gung Ho is a perk, by the way. I think Gung Ho is going to be a perk. I don't know what category that'd go in, though.
Yeah.
It's actually probably going to go in category 1, I think, with Ghost.
Yeah, I would imagine. It really seems like... Yeah, it's weird. Their perk distribution is weird. I would love to understand or to know how these decisions are made. Like, all right, which perk should go in which slot? That's like that would be tough to do, I think. And I'm not mad about the perk distribution so far in this game. It's just very different than Modern Warfare's. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
In this case, anyway. So, anyways, yeah. Scavenger or Overkill. Overkill, again, if I'm like sniping, I could see myself preferring Overkill. But in general, Scavenger, just so I never run out of ammo. But I would stop using Scavenger if I felt like I wasn't running out of ammo. So in Modern Warfare, no one ever runs Scavenger because as long as you kill someone with the same ammo type as you, you'll pick up the ammo. So you don't need Scavenger. So if you're using a gun like an M4, which runs 5.56 in Modern Warfare multiplayer, you'll never run out of ammo.
Yeah.
Because every fucking gun is 5.56. So if you kill someone and run over them, even without Scavenger, you'll get the ammo for it. However, Scavenger is on one class ever for me for multiplayer, and it's when you're using the P90. Because the P90 uses a fucking 9x18 round or something, and literally no other gun in Modern Warfare uses that ammo type.
Yeah, it's something really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of odd that they did that. So no... You won't get ammo from anyone unless they're also using a P90. So on that class, you kind of have to run Scavenger or munitions box, which is another consideration you can make. But lastly, lightweight. I'll probably run this on every SMG class I have. Unless ammo's a real problem again. And we don't know how that's going to work. But lightweight fucks. Lightweight has been in many, many Call of Duties. I believe it is usually, if not always, plus 5% movement speed. And that's a lot.
I believe that's it, yeah.
That's a lot and really good. It's also good for like search and destroy kids who want to play search and destroy on Call of Duty. But if you're using like an SMG, which already appears to have very good movement speed, and then you fuck around and put lightweight on it, you are just zooming.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious. I didn't pay attention enough the last time lightweight was a perk, but I'm also curious if that 5% movement speed is in effect for every type of movement. So for example, do you ADS strafe 5% faster with lightweight? That would make this insanely good.
That's a good question.
And
especially for
that's probably what I would
SMGs,
go
like
with.
you said, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would be. I feel like it's 5%. It'd be like 5% across the board anytime you're moving.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Whether it be, yeah. I mean, that's the way it should be. Like whether you're crouch walking, it's tack sprinting, jogging, any of it. You should get the buff across the board.
Yeah. And then another quick point is that for slot 1, I picked Ghost. If you're playing on like Shipment or like a Blitz map where there's a ton of people, obviously Ghost isn't doing shit for you. So then I will use Fortified, which is like EOD, explosive resistance. And then if I get stunned exactly once, I immediately change my class from Fortified to Survival Training, which is Battle Hardened, which is stun resistance.
Yep.
That is my rule of thumb. If I will run like if I play Shipment and MW, I run EOD because there will be explosions. Sometimes there aren't stuns. Sometimes there are. If I get stunned once, EOD's gone and I'm taking Battle Hardened. And then when I get stunned, I'm stopping everything, going after the guy who stunned me and shooting his body. So that's what I would do on really small maps. And then last real quick point, low profile, which gives you resistance to piercing vision, which is like Combat Scout, where if you shoot someone, I think it's like Combat Scout. We don't actually know. I don't think we know, but I'm pretty sure. It's like if you shoot someone, they light up. So it makes it easier to wallbang.
The way they described it was suppress, but the way they showed it was shooting through a wall. I think they said when you when you suppress someone through a wall. So it's like you would imagine it would also be if you hit them, right? Not just suppress them. I mean, the perk wouldn't only work if you miss the person and suppress them versus hit them, right? But that's the way they described it, so I'm not really entirely sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about that, but I feel like low profile, which combats that perk, piercing vision, is going to be trash. And tracker is also going to be trash. And neither of these will ever be good unless they change them significantly. Now, Tanner has a point of disagreement, and then we can get into yours. What are your thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, with Tracker, I get what you're saying. Tracker is a dog shit perk. I don't ever run it. But one thing everyone's saying about this beta is how low the footstep audio is. So I could see Tracker being more valuable in this game than other games if people's footstep audio is really quiet. Because that could help you at times. You know, you may not even know someone's running away from you, basically, because it's so quiet, but you can see their footsteps. So it could help you at a time. People always run Tracker in multiplayer for some reason. There's a pretty decent chunk of players that run it. I don't get it. I've never used it, but if you usually run a perk like Tracker, I think it's still going to be valuable in this game. Like, more valuable than it would be in MW, where the footstep audio is pretty loud and multiplayer. So I think we'll still see people running it. I don't think it's entirely useless.
Because I think about, like, yeah, I'd never run Tracker. I think I've tried it before, because Battle Hardened doesn't really work in MW, so you might as well put any fucking yellow perk on. I remember trying Tracker a little bit, but more often, like, I'll run Specialist. I've been running Specialist for, since 6 months after the game came out. And then you get Tracker when you get Specialist bonus. And I never fucking look at the footsteps. Like, I just don't do it. And I do specifically remember sometimes I'll see the footsteps and I'll be like, okay, was he going that way or coming from that way? And then also, it just never came in handy, like, ever. Like, it's so rarely actually helpful. And if you think about, when's the last time you got specialist? Do you remember ever once looking at footsteps and it helping you? Because I literally don't think it's ever helped me once.
Yeah, no.
It just sounds more helpful than it is. And in multiplayer, it's so fast paced. That guy fucking died. He spawned behind you. I don't know. Maybe in like search and destroy tracker would be better in non-respawn modes.
That's a good point. Yeah, that is true. Also, I don't remember what the issue was, but remember an MW tracker was broken for a long time. Like it didn't. There was some bug. It was some graphical setting.
If you had to have sprays and tessellations
bullets and sprays on in MW multiplayer. I think that was literally broken for PC players for months. It was not a short period of time at all.
Yeah,
they did not care about PC players whatsoever. So fuck Infinity Ward. Yeah.
Some say they still don't.
Well, they don't, but more and more people are switching every day, so they're going to be forced to.
True. That's why there was a little fucking snippet on it in the multiplayer reveal.
In the Vanguard, yep. They
specifically
talked about PC, yeah.
Yep, they got their scuffs plugged into their fucking demon rigs, dude. Anyways, yeah, what are your perks? What perks are you looking at, buddy?
Yeah, so perk 1, I'm thinking also Ghost Fortified. Not really any other option there for the most part. Perk 2, mine are a little different. High Alert and Radar. Perk 3, Piercing Vision and Lightweight. So let's get into these here.
Piercing Vision is perk 2.
Oh, is it? Did I write it down in the wrong spot?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, you did. You put it in 3.
Is it? Okay. Then 3 is just Lightweight. Fuck Piercing Vision. Not necessary then. Okay, so first thing, Ghost is always nice to have, but not as needed in multiplayer modes, unless you're like going for high streaks. Like, I know it wasn't that needed in Modern Warfare multiplayer, but I still used it because we were often like trying to get nukes and shit like that. So you want to give yourself every possible boost to try to stay alive. So that's what Ghost provided. In this game, obviously, it's not going to be as good as like MW because you have to be moving. So it's like how Cold War is, which I like a lot, but I still think Ghost would probably be my go-to perk. I think Fortify will end up being a really good perk since COD multiplayer is always plagued with lethal spam. I think we always forget that until we go back and play multiplayer again. I know this happened in Cold War. We had been playing Warzone for a long time. You go to Cold War, you play it for 10 minutes, and you remember, holy shit, man. The grenade spamming is awful in multiplayer. It's horrible. You can't walk for more than 10 seconds without a grenade exploding within an amount of feet from you. It's crazy. Yeah. So I think probably for the most part, if I'm going for like high streaks, trying to just dunk on kids, maybe go for a V2, which is only 25 kills, which is fantastic. I'll be getting 100 of those. My nuke loadout would probably have Ghost on it. And then like my standard loadout when I'm not trying to do that and I don't really care about going for high streaks, it'd probably just be Fortified for that one. I mean, yeah. Because again, as I was saying, the lethal spam is fucking awful. So for the second category, High Alert is an insane perk. And one thing is, it works better with a slower time to kill. If this game feels as fast as Modern Warfare, High Alert will be less valuable perk because like by the time I'm getting notified that someone's looking at me, they'll probably already be shooting at me and I'll already be dead. So High Alert's like really good in Warzone, but it's overshadowed by Ghost, Overkill, so not a lot of people run it. It's a really, really good perk, but in multiplayer it's not as good because if someone's looking at you with that time to kill, you're basically already fucking dead. It often doesn't matter. The number one time that High Alert matters in multiplayer is when a sniper's looking at you and they're trying to line up a shot, or you're going up against kind of bad players that you have enough time for High Alert to actually do something. Yeah, so Another one here, radar, which in this game, enemies appear on your mini-map when they fire an unsilenced weapon. So you have to use a perk in order to see red dots in the mini-map. This, I think, has the potential to be the best perk in the game if people decide to run ammo mods besides subsonic, because that's what's going to keep you off the radar. Suppressors do not keep you off the radar in Vanguard multiplayer. You have to use a specific bullet mod, which is called subsonic. That's hard to gauge right now what people are going to run. The meta will change during the life cycle a few times, as it always does, but I would guess off the rip, people are going to be using things like FMJ, incendiary, armor-piercing rounds off the rip instead of subsonic, meaning radar is going to be more valuable for you because they're not running subsonic rounds and they're all showing up on the radar. That's what I have to guess. I don't think that'll last for the entirety of the game's life cycle, though. A lot of things change as it goes on. People realize they don't like certain perks, they start using other shit. But I think radar will be a really good perk. Probably... Would it be better early game or late game? Do you think people will be more likely to want to stay off the radar when they're first playing the game? Because they're thinking like suppressors and shit and like how they have been staying off the radar?
I think very early game, it's going to be way better because people literally won't have unsilenced weapons yet. And even if they have a weapon unsilenced, like if you're going for camos, you're going to have to level your gun up enough to get a silencer on it. So for the first like month or two, radar will work on probably like everyone. Because I'm thinking about myself, like the way I will of course be going for the completionist weapon camo. And how I do it is I start by I don't give a fuck about challenges. I use a gun until it's max level. And then the moment it's max level, I go to another one. And in that time, every time I'm getting a new weapon, it won't have a silencer on it. And I know a lot of people are going to be want to be like testing guns and stuff. And there will be a lot of low level guns, and these people won't have silencers at all, which means they'll show up on radar. And the longer the game goes on, the more likely everyone is to have a silencer at least available on every weapon that they want to use. I feel like radar is going to be way better in the beginning. It seems to me like I feel like radar and high alert are equally as good as each other. Great point about high alert depending on TTK, by the way, because like if you're playing hardcore, high alert will almost never help you unless they just whiff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it will depend on TTK, but it seems like high alert is more of the staying alive perk, and radar is more of the like playing fast, finding other people perk. Like aggressive versus defensive almost.
Got it.
But
yeah.
I think radar will be better early. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that things change as the game goes on. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So third perk, I get what you're saying about possibly using overkill in multiplayer, but yeah, overkill for me in multiplayer is, I can't think of almost any time in Modern Warfare where I ever ran overkill.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's ever necessary. Warzone, of course, absolutely. But in multiplayer, it's just not necessary. Because it's like, say even an MDub, if you're trying to do like weapon camos and get as many done as you can, you run a launcher that you have to get gold, and you run an AR you have to get gold. So it's like you don't want to run overkill, really. And then if you do run overkill for weapon camo challenges, you're not really going any faster because it's like you're forcing yourself to switch weapons or something and get a certain kill with this one. It's just going to end up fucking you. It's like you have to just focus on one thing at a time. So I don't think I'll ever run overkill. Another one here, tactician, which is like restock. You restock your tactical equipment every 30 seconds. That's good, and it may be good. The issue I'm predicting though is that I'll be dying every 25 seconds in multiplayer and won't even be able to restock that in 30 seconds. But that's usually a pretty decent perk. But I'm just not really sure about that. And then something else I had said here about what was it called? It was the piercing vision one. That perk, by the way, I think will be totally map dependent. Because as I said, the way they described it, I watched a clip right before we went live, and it was the dev explaining how it worked, and it showed a guy shooting through a wall, and on the other side of the wall, the enemy player got pinged and was showing up like Combat Scout through the wall. And he said, this is part of our new system. When you get suppressed through objects, you see that player. So to me, that perk could be really, really good on a map like Hotel Royal, where it's inside, there's a bunch of walls, or just any map with houses or buildings like that. If we're fighting like in a Pacific theater and there's nothing but trees, a blown out tank, pill boxes, that's not going to do you any good. Yeah, that's not going to do you any good because it's not going to show up through walls anyway. So what good is that perk going to be?
True.
So that'll be totally map dependent, which I think any perk that is map dependent is never a meta perk typically. You want to run perks that you don't have to think about and don't have to change. Ghost, lightweight, things like that. That it doesn't matter what the map is, it's just pretty much always going to be good. Obviously, there are some things that you have to change based on, like shipment's one of them, but you should be able to play 10s Dom on Modern Warfare and not have to think about changing your perks from map to map. Because there shouldn't be anything map dependent really. So, my safe choice for slot 3 will be lightweight. Because if I'm able to just run faster everywhere, I love movement speed, and having better movement speed is never a bad thing. Even with
it's always good.
Yeah, even with like ARs, honestly, I would probably run that with snipers. Even I don't know. I mean, you specifically talked about SMGs, which does make the most sense, but I think I would end up just running that always, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like moving faster, so.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And once again, I think we know what most perks will be in this game, but I'm pretty sure we don't know all of them. I don't believe that there won't be an amped or gung-ho equivalent in this game, and that hasn't been announced yet or leaked, and therefore we don't know what slot it's in.
Yeah.
So I think like that perk is absolutely going to be in the game, and we just don't know what slot it will occupy. And there are probably a couple of others as well. So, if fucking Gung Ho is in slot 2, I will be using that instead of High Alert or Piercing Vision. And it's that simple. So this is kind of just what we're saying.
Agreed.
Based on what we know so far.
Yeah.
So field upgrades. So we know of, I believe, 5. And once again, this I'm kind of less inclined to think I will ever change. Even if there are more in the game, I'll probably be using what I'll be using, which we're about to get into. So Dead Silence is in this game as a field upgrade, which is better than it being a perk. Not as good as it not existing at all. I think Dead Silence will be the most popular, at least when the game first comes out, just because people are used to using it, and because it's so good in M-Dub, where footsteps are entirely too loud, unless they're the enemy player about to kill me, of course. However, its efficacy is going to depend on the audio levels in this game. So they've been talking about, as we talked about at the beginning of this episode, Sledgehammer Games tweet, how they're going to be adjusting the audio mixing.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. So I don't know if that means they're going to make footsteps louder, quieter. I don't know if they're going to be adjusting other sounds. So footsteps pop more, pop less. It all depends. But for example, in Black Ops 4, Dead Silence was a perk, not a field upgrade. And it was called Ninja, where your footsteps were like quiet or silent even. I don't know. And I never fucking ran it. Because in Black Ops 4, footsteps by default were just not very loud, and it rarely mattered. I never thought, well, I shouldn't say never, but very rarely did someone know I was coming because they heard me in Black Ops 4, even when I was not running Ninja. And also, to be fair, the minimap worked in Black Ops 4, so that does change things somewhat. Yeah. But still, that's just an example of a game where like the footstep audio was not crazy, so I didn't even feel the need to not have it. So if Vanguard is that way, where footsteps are not oppressively loud, then I'll probably go with a different field upgrade. But if it's even remotely similar to MDub, then of course I'll be running Dead Silence. But for the population at large, Dead Silence will be the most popular because they are just going to assume it's just like MDub and the setting is the same as MDub, which isn't necessarily the case with respect to Dead Silence. Yeah. And then also, just like the Ghost perk, if you're playing sixes on a big ass map like Red Star, Dead Silence will be a lot better there than it will be playing 24v24 on Nuketown, where no one can hear a goddamn thing because everyone is shooting all at once because there are a ton of people on the map. So like Dead Silence and tactical combat pacing is going to be a lot better than in Blitz. Because the more people there are, the more noise there is, the more masked your footsteps will be, even if they aren't silenced by the field upgrade.
Yeah.
So I'll use Dead Silence if it's good. It's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, go ahead.
So I just had a black helicopter saw. I don't know why this came to mind. It was something to do with the Dead Silence being a field upgrade again and not a perk. We've been talking about a lot lately, the perks in Vanguard switching over to Warzone, which is not confirmed. We don't know. You would kind of automatically think nothing is switching, but we've kind of been leaning towards it is. Hear me out. Dead Silence again. This game is a field upgrade. Okay, it's not a perk like in Cold War. Recently in Warzone, people were complaining about Dead Silence. So what did they do? They made it so high alert. Hears footsteps from people with Dead Silence. So they made that change, right? They made that change. What else did they do? They added in Combat Scout, which is basically this game's version of which one was that? Piercing Vision.
Yeah.
Again, to me, these are just confirming, I think, that the Vanguard perks are changing over to Warzone. What's the third thing everyone has been bitching about in Warzone? Ghost. Ghost showing up when you're not moving. What does Vanguard have? Ghost, undetectable by moving spy planes unless you're moving. You have to be moving. It's switching, dude. There's just no way it's not.
Interesting.
There's no way it's not. The only thing is Ghost and Overkill are different categories. But if Ghost only works when you're moving, I don't care. That's fine. I think that's balanced enough.
Yeah.
Instead of like having to choose one or the other, if you have to be moving for it to work, then I think that's balanced enough. But we'll get probably way more into that when we do we'll probably do a Warzone Vanguard episode next month, or maybe end of this month. We're not really sure. We'll sure need to play the game first. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's switching. But anyways, I'm with you. I think Dead Silence will be my go-to. In MDub, I strictly use Dead Silence or Stopping Power, and usually it ended up just being Dead Silence. Honestly, not even necessarily because of the footstep or no footstep audio. I mean, that's obviously fantastic, but also I like the field of view change and like the feeling of moving a lot faster. In field upgrades this year, there's nothing crazy. There's nothing new. So I'll probably just end up sticking with Dead Silence as well. But our boy, I think it was Jackie where I saw it, Jackie Wacky. He posted, he had a clip of Dead Silence, and it doesn't change your field of view. So that's right. That was like a big positive for console players and MDub, is getting that little boost there as well. I also think that plays into why it was so popular, but we'll see.
And the speed increase too, which won't be in this game, I don't believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, was it actually a speed increase?
I believe it was a small speed.
It was very, very small. It makes it seem like it's a huge. I think there may have been a speed increase, but it's not that noticeable. It's mostly just because your field of view gets so much wider.
Correct.
So it seems like you're running a lot faster than.
So it feels like a bigger increase than it is, but there still is a small increase. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm with you. I'll probably just be running Dead Silence this year, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I would like to look at all of the perks and then see how that would play in Warzone. Like, because yeah, you might be right. They might be setting this up with Warzone in mind, and that's why the perks are getting so shifted around, and we have like a bunch in the same category. That is not the case in MW, because they're trying to tailor where each perk goes for Warzone.
Yeah.
That's certainly possible. Yeah, that would be cool to go through, which we'll do at some point, I'm sure. But anyways, supply box, munitions box. I mean, it'll be shit.
Yeah, it's ammo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ammo. So, I mean, unless you feel like you need scavenger, but you would really rather have something else besides scavenger, which is fine. I mean, if you really want lightweight, but you keep running out of ammo, so you take scavenger instead, but then you say, God damn it, no, I want my lightweight back. Then you could switch over to supply box. I think that's fair. Depends on the charge time and whatnot, but that's fine. Honestly, I don't think field upgrades are a very big deal in multiplayer. I could and have gone an entire game without using my field upgrade, and I like didn't notice or care. They're not that big of a deal, which I like. I don't like field upgrades being super good. It's kind of like ults and BO4 if they were. So luckily they're not. So supply box is ammo. I mean, that's fine. I don't care. So yeah. Next is Goliath. This is an RCXD. I don't know why it's a field upgrade, but my suspicion is that normally RCXD is a kill streak, and it costs like 3 to 5 kills for an RCXD.
4?
Which is 4. Okay,
3
yeah.
or
Which
4?
is,
I don't know.
Which is decent, because 4 kills is also fucking UAV. And RCXD still manages to be shit. So, if they're making it a field upgrade, it is going to be worthless. The Goliath is going to be worse than an RCXD kill streak, which is already terrible, because otherwise it wouldn't be a field upgrade. They wouldn't make a 4 kill streak into a field upgrade without toning it down.
Yeah.
And they're toning down an already dog shit streak. So the Goliath will be not worth using.
Yeah, this won't get you. This will be the most unused field upgrade, probably.
The only situation I could maybe see this being good for is if you're playing Search and you wanted to like check one of the bomb sites to see if like anyone's on it or whatever. So you almost use it like a recon drone.
Yeah.
Even that I find a lot. That's a stretch.
But then even then, everyone in Search is going to run dead silence. Everyone. So
yeah.
Then, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the worst field upgrade, I would imagine.
Yeah. And now we're getting into the two that I think I would probably be running. Supply box, maybe. Field mic / armor plate. I'm probably just going to always run armor plate. An armor plate is extra health. It's easy, and being able to eat more bullets before your character dies is always good, no matter what your playstyle, no matter what your goals, no matter what your position. If you can take more damage before you die, it's good in every possible scenario. So I'll probably just take armor plate. There's no downsides. It's good, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's always good. Field mic, on the other hand, it's going to have counters in this game in the form of a perk. I don't know which yet, or maybe even dead silence. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, field mic is still, despite having a counter, going to be pretty good. It was good in Cold War. But again, my issue with field mic, it's good and it's worth using. However, I tended not to use it because since it has counters, if you place a field mic and then assume that that angle is covered, you run the risk of someone who has the counter pushing that angle and then fucking you. And
True.
It lulls you into a false sense of security.
Yep.
So either you place the field mic, never check it, and then die to someone who has the counter. So then the field mic wasn't very good. Or Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, yeah, I don't think I'll be using field mic because it has counters. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say. Or you put the field mic down, and because you know it has counters, you check it every once in a while anyway. But if you're gonna check it once in a while anyway, why use a fucking field mic at all? You might as well just use something else like armor plate. Therefore, I'll probably very rarely, if ever, run it. But it is sort of good because sometimes people will run into it who don't have the counter because they don't know the field mic is there, and then you can get some easy kills. So it's not shit, but I think armor plate's just better in general. What are your thoughts on field mic or armor plate?
So field mic is cringe and for camping pussies, I think.
Cool.
I used it at the start of Cold War. So last time I played Cold War was, I don't know, December of 2020. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, but not really. I used to use field mic. It always got destroyed. That's what it did for me. It was a waste. You would throw it down and it would be destroyed. Yeah. It would be destroyed. I would find... It would tell me where one person was. I would run over there. That person would kill me, and then they would destroy my field mic, rendering it useless. Don't care. Right. Field mic is stupid. They ran out of ideas, so they tried to add something stupid into the game that shows you where the enemies are. Field mic is cringe. So armor plate, I think, is a good one, and I think it'll be one of the best. But it'll be interesting to see how they handle armor when it comes to all the bullet mods in this game. They're setting themselves up for disaster. They've done too much. These bullet mods and everything else, I think they've done too much. They need to step back a little bit. They've gone way too far with all these bullet mods. How is it going to work when you go up against like armor-piercing bullets? So armor-piercing rounds that you can get for just about any gun. What happens when you shoot that against a player that doesn't have armor on? Is there no benefit? What happens when you shoot at a player that has an armor plate on? What does it do? Does it just go straight through the armor and that renders your armor plate useless? Does it just destroy it faster than other bullets? Because I would imagine in multiplayer, putting on one armor plate as your field upgrade is going to let you take like one more shot. What is it really going to do? So if armor-piercing bullets in multiplayer don't just go straight through that, then what's the point in running those bullets even? I don't know. That we'll have to wait and see. That we won't know till the full game comes out. Will the plate just be depleted quicker if someone's using a certain type of ammo versus like regular hollow point bullets or something? It's just getting too RNG for a multiplayer game, I think. Too many like bullshit gunfights are going to happen based on things like that with bullet mods, armor, which is never good. So again, this is probably going to end up being like M-Dub. The core mechanics are here. The game looks good. But the thing that's going to ruin this game is dumb shit like the bullet mods. Something stupid is going to be what ruins this game again. So that's what I think about that. Armor plate sounds good, but I'm very interested to see how it's going to work against all these mods, bullet mods.
Yeah, and on that point, I should add, and I think I said this before, it might have been on a Patreon episode at patreon.com/thedropshot, which is the best way to support the show, and you get 5 bonus episodes a month, weekly hangouts, and more at patreon.com/thedropshot. I think I said this on one of those episodes at patreon.com/thedropshot, which was, I don't like that this is a field upgrade. It makes gunfights super inconsistent, and in Vanguard, you don't see enemy health bars. So like in Black Ops 4, there was armor, and it wasn't a field upgrade. It was like I forget what they were called, but there was a specific slot where you could have like armor or it's called body armor. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
In BO4? Yeah, I don't really remember that.
It was called body armor. I don't know what slot it was in, but I feel like it was in a... Oh yeah, you could have a ComSec device, body armor, and there were a couple of other things too.
It was basically field upgrades though, right?
Sort of, yeah. But anyways, the point is, there was armor that increased your health in Black Ops 4, but also you could see enemy health on your when you look at someone. It's like you'll always see health. So you can see if some guy is one shot. So like if two people are like in front of you and they're both running away from you, so they both have their backs turned to you, you'll see one guy has 10 health and the other guy has 100 health, crash, fucking health boost, tack boost, and body armor. So you'll be like, okay, let me start with the guy who's one shot and then go to the other guy. In Vanguard, it does not appear that that exists. Now, it is possible that there will be an option on full release to display enemy health bars. Because you could turn that off in BO4. You'd be an idiot too, but you could.
You do it in Cold War too.
And you could do it in Cold War too. Are you sure?
Yeah, because I remember us talking about this in the beta, and you said that same exact thing. You said you'd be an idiot to turn off the health bars because it helps you see the player.
Yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah. So if that's an option, then in Vanguard, then armor plates will be less of an issue, but still annoying. But if you don't see health bars and you don't see that someone has armor, that's pretty shit. Because then you're going to shoot someone and you'll think they don't have armor, but then they do. And you might be at like 80% health, where because you got first shot, you were confident you'd get the kill on this person because they only have 20% more health than you. But oops, now that you've shot them, you just learned they had a plate on and they actually had 150% health and you have 80%. And then you're going to think to yourself, man, if I knew they had armor, I would have waited at least until I was full health to take this gunfight. True. And that option just won't exist for you if you can't display enemy health bars, which it does not appear that you can once the game comes out. So I don't like armor plates being a field upgrade. I think it leads to dumb, inconsistent gunfights, and losing only because someone has an armor plate is really going to piss me right the fuck off.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not good for the game, but I will, of course, be using it unless Dead Silence is good.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is I think since all of these COD kids want Dead Silence as a perk, I would imagine you're not going to run into this a whole lot. Now, if Dead Silence wasn't a field upgrade, I think Armor Plate would undoubtedly be the most used field upgrade in the game. But because it is, I think that kind of saves us from so many inconsistent gunfights, probably. But then, even then, dude, there's... one of the bullet mods is hollow point rounds. Now, hollow point rounds don't penetrate armor. It hits your body and it expands to do more flesh damage to a human. That's what it does.
In real life.
That's what it does in real life. So in a video game, how would that work? If you're shooting someone that has an armor plate and you have hollow point rounds, are you going to do even less damage? I mean, there's so many variables that I don't like for a casual first-person shooter. Put this in Squad. Put this in Tarkov. Put this in Arma. Don't put this in Call of Duty. There's too many variables that could just fuck up a casual multiplayer gunfight that I don't want in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to do a lot. It's possible that the armor mods are, the ammo mods are fine. And the only way the ammo mods are fine is if they are wildly unrealistic. Because if all the ammo mods are fairly realistic, where hollow point just doesn't work unless you actually hit. So another thing too, sounds like you can't wallbang with hollow point either. Because it's meant to like explode
good question.
on impact.
I don't know. Yeah.
So you can't even shoot through wood, or you do like 2 damage, like paintball damage. You know.
Yeah, right. You're overthinking it though. We're overthinking this.
Exactly. That's the thing. So hopefully Sledgehammer is not overthinking it, and it's very wildly unrealistic, and it doesn't perform like a hollow point at all. And the only thing it actually means is you do more damage to limbs if you have it, or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
But if they are trying to if they're trying to even remotely approach realism with all of these ammo mods, call it Call of Duty Icarus, right? Because we will just be flying too close to the sun and we will burn up and just spread through the atmosphere like ashes on a given LA afternoon. Hashtag wildfires.
Wow.
Burn the whole state.
Wildfires, we had an earthquake yesterday. Yeah, just a disaster of a state.
Oh, true.
We should move to Minnesota.
We certainly could.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, we might get abducted by our many ardent supporters.
There's a lot of gamers in Minnesota.
We could also get a couple good pies at Twisted Barrel.
We could get a couple pies.
Wood-fired pizzas, you know? Shout out to Twisted Barrel Pizza in Minnesota.
TwistedBarrelPizza.com, yeah.
Twisted Barrel Pizza at Twisted Barrel Pizza. .com indeed. Anyways, we'll see. All right. Next, weapons. So we're obviously not going to talk about individual weapons. So we're not going to talk about the STG in this. We're going to talk about weapon categories. Because individual weapons tend to be balanced often, nerfed and buffed as necessary. But weapon categories very rarely, if ever, change their character as a class. I think the only time it's really happened is in Cold War when they made ARs usable. But that was just bringing ARs to where they should be, which is, of course, again, usable, which they weren't for 8 months of the game's life cycle. Cringe.
True.
So that's what we're going to do. Weapon categories. First of all, SMGs. SMGs are just going to fuck in this game. They're going to fuck harder than they've perhaps ever fucked before.
Really?
Maybe not ever before. Let me take a step back, but definitely they're going to be better than they were in MW multiplayer, and also probably a bit better than they were in Cold War multiplayer for two reasons. Number one, seems like they give very good movement speed compared to other weapon categories in Vanguard, more so than other Call of Duties. So in MW or Cold War, you move faster with an SMG than with an LMG. That's pretty much always been the case. But the delta looks like it's a lot wider in Vanguard than it is in Cold War or MW. I don't know for sure, and we will see when the game comes out or even when we play the beta. But it really looks like you fucking zoom with SMGs. Really zoom. And again, lightweight's in this game too, so now it's getting, active. Getting very active if we do all of these things. So for that reason, I feel like SMGs are going to be really good. And then also, a lot of these maps are 3 lanes. And many of them are appropriate sized for Call of Duty, which hasn't been the case for at least 5 years. Now, some maps are just too big, like Red Star, but a lot of these maps seem to be Call of Duty sized, which is to say smaller than Cold War and MW's maps, mainly MW, of course. And also, they're 3 lanes. And when you're playing on a 3-lane map, and you're in a lane, that lane is narrow, relatively narrow, more narrow than one of Grozna Raid's 13 lanes, right?
True.
And that means gunfights will tend to be very up close where SMGs fuck. So I think for these 2 reasons, 3 reasons, if you say, even if it's not a 3-lane map, a small map is going to favor SMGs as well, obviously. So I think SMGs are going to be really, really good for those 3 reasons. Because it seems like the landscape of the maps tends to favor them, and also the movement speed seems really good on them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, movement speed seems crazy good. They seem to be pretty balanced from what I've seen. Again, very hard to tell. Weapons aren't max level. There's only like 4 SMGs that are usable right now, 3 SMGs. Crazy good movement speed. ADS speed seems really good. I was watching some more streams and videos before podcast tonight. The ADS for all the guns looks pretty damn good. I wasn't noticing sprint to fire at all necessarily, but just a lot of people going from a regular run to an ADS, and it looked really, really good with everything. Other than like snipers, they seemed a little slow, but that's kind of to be expected, and that's how you balance them. And so the other thing with SMGs, I think to balance them, is there seems to be a large damage drop-off at range. When you watch people, they're shooting someone 40 meters away with an SMG. I mean, they're getting a lot of hit markers. You notice it right away. Like, oh, that is an SMG they're using just based on how many hit markers they're getting.
That's really good to hear.
That's a good sign. That's how you balance SMGs. Really good movement speed, good ADS speed, fries up close, awful at range. That's the way it should be. Also, this is probably because the guns aren't max level. I'm sure once we unlock the last barrel, it'll give you plus 400% damage range, and I'll be getting fried across the map. with an MP40. So that's also possible, but as of right now, I think it looks really balanced, and that's good to see. SMGs look like they're going to fucking fry. I'm excited. I love running SMGs. As I said, I love zooming around the map real quick, getting kills, always moving. So that's a good sign. Looking good.
Yeah. Next, assault rifles. In every Call of Duty game ever except Cold War, assault rifles have been very good and all-purpose, and they are a good weapon to use on every map. Besides Cold War, of course. Cold War, you couldn't use one for the first 6 months. You would get shit on by SMGs that have better range than you, better ADS time than you, faster sprint to fire than you, and more damage than you, too. I mean, a disaster that Cold War allowed that to happen. Anyways, in this game, I expect they won't fuck that up again, and ARs will be fine. They will be good. It will be the go-to weapon. If you don't know what map or mode you're playing, you can use your AR class and do fine. That's what I'm expecting. Everything I'm seeing makes that appear to be the case. Assault rifles are the de facto gun in any first-person shooter.
It's the most used weapon class always.
Yeah, and it seems like they're that Vanguard won't be an exception to that rule. And I will say, though, that they will be outclassed by SMGs on more maps than they were in MW, for example. Well, SMGs were really good in MW because the time to kill was so fast.
SMGs fucking fried in MW. All of them did. Pretty much every SMG in MW multiplayer was good.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, because the maps, at least now, appear to, again, be smaller and more often 3 lanes, SMGs are going to give you more trouble if you're using an AR. But on a map like Gavatow? Is that what it's called?
Gavutu? I don't know how it's
Gavutu?
pronounced.
Okay. And Red Star, I wouldn't use an SMG on that map pretty much ever. AR would be what I would want to use if
Gavutu seems
I wanted to
small.
use full auto.
Smaller than Red Star by a mile.
It seemed definitely smaller than Red Star. It seemed like an average sized map.
Yeah.
But very open. There were like a lot of long sight lines. It appeared
that is
to me. Even though it wasn't that big of a map.
God, I'm excited for beta in less than a week. Let's fucking go.
I know. I'm fucking pumped.
We should get that preload probably Monday or Tuesday.
Stupid fucking game. Oh
Thursday
yeah, the preload should be soon, right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I have 1 gig up, 1 gig down, but yeah.
I'll download and install the ever-living fuck out of that video game. Yeah, of course. Cool. But yeah, ARs will be fine, hopefully. So
cool. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about ARs, which I guess is a good thing. Didn't notice anything bad about them. Didn't notice anything crazy good about them. BAR looks like it fucking chunks. The bar, the BAR, I don't know what you dipshits want to call it. I've always known it as the BAR. But that one looks pretty nutty. STG is an absolute classic. That's a World War II classic assault rifle, German gun. But yeah, ARs looked
Any
fine.
crowds?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. They're white.
Yeah.
Next, shotguns. Okay.
Fuck shotguns, yeah.
So shotguns are primary weapons in this game. Right?
Yes.
I'm almost positive.
Shotguns are primaries in Vanguard, yes.
Okay, and thank Christ for that. Number one. We'll start
Fuck
there.
Treyarch.
Thank God, and fuck Treyarch.
This finger.
Oh my God, it is crooked. What's wrong with it? Let me look at
what a disaster. Hold on.
Mine are a little
This is a disaster.
Slanted.
Why is it so crooked? This one's fucked.
Yeah, that
Someone donate me money so I can get this fixed. Holy shit.
Oh, it's a birth defect. One of your dozens of birth defects.
It's holy shit, it's a disaster.
Yeah, you disgust me,
Oh my
frankly.
God.
And we'll be editing this out because you're actually
It may as well be cut
sick.
off. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's from gaming so much, right-clicking.
Cut it off, dude.
Look at, because I angle my finger that way to right-click. It's probably from gaming too much. I'm that hardcore of a K-BAM gamer. My finger is bent. Holy shit.
This is why SBMM exists.
Send a bloody
People
finger
are
to the PO
altering
box.
their physiology to play the video game. You fucking sweat.
Thanks a lot, Activision. I need a new finger because of you. Fuck you.
Yeah, let's sue them. Let's sue them for damages.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, shotguns. I fucking hate shotguns. Tanner and I are 100% in agreement on this. They shouldn't exist in first-person shooter games. They have no redeeming qualities. Nothing about them is fun or interesting to use. They take no skill whatsoever. They're neither fun to die to nor to use yourself. And they just, again, they shouldn't exist in first-person shooter games. But they do. Luckily, they're primary weapons. That's a start. And in this game, it seems like SMGs look so good and they look like they excel so much up close that I'm hoping shotguns are not that big of an issue. And this is one problem which would be ameliorated by a fast time to kill. The faster the TTK, the worse shotguns and snipers become because they have less and less time to get their one-shot kill on you. So TTK in this game is fairly fast, faster than Cold War, slower than MDub in general, at least according to Exclusive Aces testing based off of Champion Hill, which we talked about. So I will get one tap to shotguns. It will piss me off, and I will say take them out of the game live on a broadcast, undoubtedly. However, seems like they won't be completely fucking insane.
That's
like
crazy
an MDub or something. Just because SMGs are so good.
Interesting.
What do you think?
Interesting. Fuck you, and you're wrong. I'm expecting them to be an absolute disaster this year. So we're going back to 3-lane maps. How many people ran shotguns on Grozny Raid? Not that many. What's going to happen when we're all on smaller maps? You're going to run into a bunch of people running shotguns. It's going to be a disaster. No counterplay. Shotguns, explosive rounds, incendiary rounds. Holy shit. FMJ rounds, which they think are projectile missiles firing out of a shotgun because they've never been within 100 yards of a real gun in real life. Sledgehammer Games devs. Shotguns are going to be a fucking disaster. I already know it. I don't know why you don't think they're not going to be an utter disaster. Horrible. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting horrible, overpowered pieces of shit shotguns. Disaster. Also, imagine using a shotgun in Call of Duty, specifically the Gallo and Warzone cringe. You're a loser. You're an idiot. Imagine doing that. Shotguns are stupid. They shouldn't be in video games. Get them out of here, and I'm going to die to them all the time in Vanguard, and it's going to make me so fucking mad. I already know it. There's no counterplay to it. Even if SMGs are good, I get what you're saying there, but SMGs just can't kill fast enough. I mean, I'm just going to die to it. I'm really. Have you not played Battlefield 5? Have we not played Battlefield 5 together? When someone can one-tap with a shotgun from 20 feet away,
I mean, that
the
is
entire
true,
game. It's a disaster. There were quite a few shotguns in World War II. We're going to get shit on by them all year long, I think. So I'm not looking forward to that. There's a positive and a negative about smaller maps. They're more fun. You're going to see more shotguns, though, too. Cringe.
Yeah. I mean, look, everything you just said is, of course, true. But I'm just saying they're not going to be as much of a problem as, like, a Dragon's Breath SPAS 12 from BO4.
Oh, there's explosive rounds. Why do you think it wouldn't be as big of a problem?
Because the TTK is faster.
Clip that, ship that, and remember this.
Okay, all right, dude.
I'm going to use nothing but shotguns in the beta next weekend.
I mean, shotguns are gonna fuck, of course, but I just think SMGs are so good that they'll be less of a problem. Number one, because if you're using an SMG, you'll have more of a chance than maybe a different Call of Duty. But number two, if SMGs are really good, then fewer people will be using shotguns and they'll be using SMGs instead. That's another part of it too.
It really is as simple as take shotguns out of first-person shooters. There's no way. There's no way to properly balance a shotgun. Like, you can balance snipers, because that takes an amount of skill to shoot someone at a distance. Shotguns, it really doesn't. There's there's just no way to balance it, because either you make them so bad where they're entirely unusable, or you make them so good that they're overpowered. There's no in between with them. That's the trouble with one-shot, close quarter range weapons. There's no way around it. Yeah.
Yeah. However, actually, so one of the shotguns we saw in that campaign playthrough actually was self-loading
revolving shotgun, it was called.
Yeah. That's another way to balance shotguns, is to make the reload fucking awful and take forever, and or having a small magazine capacity. So the 725, for example.
I was about to bring that up.
Now, let me be clear. 725 was, of course, insanely overpowered.
For months. Fucking Infinity Ward.
But that was because it could one-shot kill you from 20 clicks. So assuming Vanguard shotgun range is reasonable, if they add cumbersome reload times or limited magazine size or both on top of that, then that would be another way to balance shotguns. But at the point of being shot, they can't be balanced, as you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if you make them so awful to reload, then people will just stop using them, even if they can one-shot kill once you've prepared it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as annoying as like the Gallo and certain shotguns are in Warzone, I think they actually have balanced them as well as they can. Because if you're in a gunfight with someone that's 12 meters away with a shotgun in Warzone, you're actually just fucked. You can get 8 hit markers, believe me, I've done it, and they just gun you down and you're dead. So, I guess you can balance it. You just have to have a very steep damage drop-off. Like, literally, I'm talking max damage range should be like 4 meters. It should be... Your barrel should be against my fucking head to get max damage with a shotgun. So
yeah,
put the barrel in my head. In Vanguard.
In game, of course. Yeah. Next are snipers. Snipers are snipers.
Yep.
I have almost nothing else to say on this. The way you should balance a sniper is give it flinch. Don't give it insane aim assist. And give it relatively slow sprint to fire / ADS times. They've balanced snipers in Call of Duty many times before. They didn't for Cold War, but they've done it before. I think they'll get it right this time again. I think snipers will be fine.
I haven't heard anyone complaining about snipers yet, so... I also have very rarely seen people use them, so maybe people aren't really experimenting. When you only have 1 weekend to play with a beta, I feel like people are mostly using ARs and shit, not really experimenting with shotguns, snipers, shit like that. So that could be part of it. But yeah, the snipers look like, as you said, snipers. The optics look really good, but the optics for every gun look really good. So
yeah. Okay, this is an interesting note you've added to this next one. LMGs. I'm not sure on LMGs. It depends on how bangable things are in this game. So for example, firing range Black Ops 4, everything was bangable. And if LMGs did more penetration damage than other types of guns, on top of that, and piercing vision was a perk in BO4 on top of all that, then LMGs would be really fucking good on that map. So I think a lot of the utility of LMGs is going to depend on how bangable the game is in general and how bangable the surfaces are. Bangable, by the way, doing damage through walls, penetration damage, wall banging, bangable. Yeah. So I don't think I've seen any LMG gameplay from the beta. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, do they even exist? No, I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any.
Beta has the MG42, the dinner plate, DP27, and the Bren.
Oh, I saw a little bit of the dinner plate.
The one with a magazine on top. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Oh, that fucking awful where you can't see anything on the right side of the screen.
Again, the Brits need to focus on something else, not designing guns.
Yeah, yeah. They should melt that
Focus
down
that
and
tea.
send the metal
It's all
to the United States to make good guns. Because if we can do anything right, it's war.
Yeah. Oh, we love
Yeah,
war.
LMGs. It depends on. And F's in the chat for the World Trade Center 20 years ago.
yeah,
to
we
this
should have
day,
done
by
a
the
little.
way.
Yeah.
Speaking of war,
Speaking of war, thank you, George
F's in
W.
the chat.
Bush.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, Barack Obama. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you.
We were in
Biden,
Afghanistan for 20 years to leave and lose it inside of a week.
Shit.
And it's gone. And it's gone.
That's insane. Crazy.
Cool, man. Good job, George. And we got the Patriot Act. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
and we're
Awesome.
spied on like crazy. Yeah.
I'm spied on more by the federal government than I am by Activision. Not preventing me from cheating.
Yeah.
Cringe
Spy on
world.
us, Activision. Yeah.
Please spy on me and stop me from cheating. George does more than that. I hereby consent.
Mission
Stop
success.
me from cheating if you do it.
What
to
did he say on the
everyone else.
aircraft carrier that one time? Not
Ladies
mission
and gentlemen,
success.
we got him.
No,
what
there
you're
was
talking
another one where he was like, there was like a banner in the background hanging on the aircraft carrier. It's like a funny meme picture.
I think that's the.
Is that
Ladies
it?
and gentlemen, we got him.
Is it?
When we killed Osama? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no, that was during. Well, what is this?
Wait, was it? Hold on. Let me look this up. Ladies.
Oh no! In the background of the aircraft carrier was a banner that said "Mission Accomplished."
Oh.
It's
I don't think
fucking
I've seen that
hilarious.
one,
It's
dude.
George talking on an aircraft carrier that says "Mission Accomplished." It's like fucking the end of 2001. Holy shit! Yeah. Thanks for getting us out of there, prick. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent job. So.
Mission accomplished, buddy.
Mission accomplished. Anyways, light machine guns in Vanguard. Again, yeah, it depends on how bangable things are. If shit's bangable and piercing vision is like pretty widely used, I could see this being pretty fucking good on certain maps. I as Tanner was saying, well, yeah, like on Red Star, I probably really wouldn't ever use an LMG because it's so open that like an LMG is gonna have better damage than an AR, but it wouldn't be worth taking on the downsides of LMGs, the slow movement, the slow ADS, the slow sprint to fire, if the only thing you were getting was more damage and damage range, probably. I think they'll balance them pretty well. I don't think they'll be very popular, even if things are very bangable and good, and it's very good to use. People don't like LMGs.
Yeah.
I think these are going to be fine. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Also, though, I don't think there's a point in running an LMG when we've already seen the Thompson submachine gun has an option for a 100 round drum magazine. What would I use an LMG for?
Yeah.
What do you ever use an LMG for in multiplayer, really? If I'm not using
Well, if you're
an
playing Cold War,
LMG,
you use it to shit on every single other type of weapon in the video game.
that's true. If you ever catch me using an LMG for fun in Call of Duty multiplayer, call me out. Clip it, ship it, call me out. Because that's embarrassing. LMGs are used for one thing, and that's to get gold so I can get the mastery camo. I mean, there's nothing else to say. LMGs are fucking awful in multiplayer. Horrible movement speed. Horrible everything, really. Nice. Can't wait to get shit on by that Thompson with a 100 round drum mag, by the way, which is going to be an LMG, but it's an SMG with SMG movement speed. So, LMGs, again, they don't need to be in video games. They're literally just worse assault rifles. There's no reason to have them. Add in more assault rifles and get rid of the LMG category. That's what I think.
That's you've gone too far. Like,
Have
Vanguard
I gone too far?
with that one? Yeah.
Sure.
I like LMGs, but yeah, they're not good. They can be. Again, in Cold War, they're very good. But even, anyways. And then lastly, marksman rifles. So far we only know of one, I believe, for sure, which is the M1 Garand. Marksman rifles in this game, let me rephrase. Marksman rifles in this game will not be the same as marksman rifles in MW, probably. Because like the Kar 98 was a marksman rifle in MW, but in Vanguard is a sniper rifle. Marksman rifles is really just going to refer to semi-auto DMRs, basically. So the M1 Garand is one such weapon. It's a semi-auto with the handling of basically an assault rifle. In the beta, right now, the Garand fucks.
It looked insane from what I saw, yeah. That's
Yes.
what I saw some people saying.
And that's good, and I think that's kind of how you do balance semi-autos. So you can also look at MW multiplayer. The FAL kills faster than like every AR in the game.
Yeah.
Yet, it's not very used, it's not very popular, and it's not like overpowered.
Well, in multiplayer,
Because
it is, yeah.
No, it's not. I never see it in multiplayer.
Well, when was the last time you played Modern Warfare multiplayer?
I was leveling my the new LMG like a week ago. Anyways, and the reason it's not very popular is because it's semi-auto. That's the balancing factor. You have to have a good trigger finger, and it's way less forgiving. And if you miss one shot, your very fast competitive time to kill is out the window, and now it's trash.
Yeah.
And now you'd rather have a fully auto AR. So, I mean, the Garand may or may not need to be nerfed a little bit. I don't really know, but I think marksman rifles will, or should fuck. But they'll, no matter how good they are, they won't be popular in multiplayer.
You don't
Kids
think?
like full auto. Yeah, 100%.
A
When
gun
has a
like
marksman rifle ever been popular in any COD multiplayer?
Well, a gun like an M1 Garand is usually in the assault rifle category, I feel like. Weird they would put it in the marksman. Wait, do we even know? Is it a mark? Oh yeah, it is a marksman rifle.
Yes. It's the only one in
that
the
is
beta in
odd.
category.
I feel like that alone would make it so less people use it. But M1 Garand is just, I mean, that's a World War II staple right there. So people will be using that no matter what. Yeah, from what I saw, it was killing really, really fast. Toad in chat is saying he played with it, though, in the sprint out, and ADS is crap. If that's true, that's the way you balance it, and they did it correctly. Because I saw numerous clips where people were shredding with it. It was killing very, very fast. I wasn't noticing the sprint out, though. I was just seeing kills like when they were already ADS'd pretty much. So that would explain how they balance it, and I'm glad to hear that, Toad, if that's true. Because that's the way you have to do it, actually. There's no other way to balance the marksman rifles. Do a lot of damage, but have downsides like the ADS, sprint to fire, obviously reload, stuff like that. So I'm kind of worried about these, to be honest. These and shotguns, they worry me the most for this game, just from what I've seen with the M1 Garand. I mean, just two-tapping everyone in multiplayer. That's not good, especially when you can just, run around. So there's going to be a bunch of attachments that'll give you better ADS speed, movement speed, ADS walking, movement speed, and you can run a red dot with it instead of using those shitty irons. Yeah, it's I think that has the potential to be kind of busted, so hopefully I'm wrong. I'm going to go pee while you start here.
All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's kind of hard to say because Tanner and I haven't gotten a chance to play yet, but also there's only one marksman rifle in the beta that we've seen, so kind of hard to draw conclusions on the whole category from that. But I think what we said kind of rings true. And yeah, also on the FAL and MW, for example, the ADS on that thing's pretty fucking slow. And the sprint to fire is not great either. That's another way to counteract the insane TTK it has. And Toad, someone in chat, is saying, what's up, by the way, dude? That is the case for the Garand in the beta as well. Just kind of trash handling. So if it kills really fast, that's a way to balance it. I think these will probably be fine. I think no matter how good or bad they are, they just won't be popular. Because people just don't like using semi-auto. It's a lot of work. And, I understand. So, now, last category, equipment. This is going to be like lethals / tactical equipment. First, we'll start with lethals. I think Demo Charge, which is just Demolition Charge C4, is going to be the best lethal again. It's usually the best lethal in every Call of Duty multiplayer. Because it does the most damage You can detonate it as soon as you want, so you don't have to wait for a frag grenade fuse, for example. And you can throw them pretty far and very accurately, and because they stick to things, you can really put it wherever you want, so long as it's in range. But you can also use it like a frag that detonates as soon as you want it to. So if, like, you know, if I'm in a room and there's no roof and you're in the opposite room, I just lob that bitch over, detonate it, and you're just dead. And to do that with a frag grenade would be extremely difficult. Whereas with C4, it's super easy. And even if you did place the frag grenade as well as you could place the C4, it does less damage. So I think C4 is going to be the most popular demo charge, excuse me. The only way that isn't the case is if they make it really slow, like they did when they nerfed it in MDub. They made the throw speed pretty dog shit.
1 year
and
after
the throw
game
distance.
came out,
yeah, exactly. And the throw distance, they also made pretty dog shit. If they make it bad enough, demo charge won't be good. And in that case, probably impact grenade, honestly. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as it is in MDub right now. I think demo charge is going to be the go-to.
Yeah, dude, C4 used to be so fun in MDub.
I know.
Dude, I forgot about that. You throw it so far. Wait, did you talk about tacticals yet, or just the demo charge?
No, just lethal.
Okay, yeah. I agree with you. I think C4 will probably be my go-to, but I'm also interested in trying Thermite because I really love that in Warzone.
Oh, true.
Molotov is sometimes good in multiplayer. It's good for certain game modes, especially hardpoint, search, even stuff like that, where you can easily prevent someone from reaching an objective by just having fire on the ground for 3-4 seconds. But I'm also interested in the gammon bomb. So we don't know exactly what that is. Is that one in the beta yet? I think it is in the beta. I haven't seen anyone use this. Our original thought was a few weeks ago this was going to be like the Semtex grenade, because we looked it up and this is basically a World War II sticky grenade. So it sounds like this is this game's version of the Semtex, the gammon bomb. So I think that may be a popular one too, because if that's basically a Semtex, that'll probably be the most used lethal, actually.
I think it's like a impact grenade.
No, impact grenade was something different. We had looked this up. There's a wiki for it. Gammon bomb. Yeah, it's a quote sticky bomb. World War II sticky bomb.
What was the impact grenade then?
I think that was different. I think that was a leak that's not official yet, and we don't know if it's coming.
Huh. Okay. Yeah,
not really sure.
Okay.
Maybe that's what they were meaning was the impact, but everything I've read about the gammon says sticky grenade, so I'm not really sure. If that sticky grenade,
yeah, you're right.
If that gammon bomb is similar to a Semtex, I think that'll be the most used one, and that's probably what I'll use quite a bit as well. But we'll have to see. Like you said, if I can barely throw the C4 over a wall that's directly in front of me, then there's no use in using it. If I can toss it over a building like I could in MDub, then that'll be the best one to use, obviously. But Semtex usually, I think in like modern day CODs, ends up being the most popular lethal. So if that's what Gammon Bomb is, I think that's what that'll be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, true. I don't know.
Gammon
right.
blows up on impact. That's what Toad's saying. So maybe what we were seeing, the impact grenade in chat, is the Gammon.
Yeah,
possibly. If that's the case, then probably not so much. Probably C4 is what I would run.
I think no matter what, unless C4 is terrible like it is in MDub, it'll be the best demo charge. Yeah, honestly, but that remains to be seen. Tacticals. Oh, and by the way, if there's a bunch of fucking vehicle combat like we once thought, which is still definitely possible, then Thermite instead. Or maybe C4, depending on how much health they have.
Yeah. C4 probably
these are
better,
all,
yeah.
Yeah, these are all open questions. Tactical. I'll probably use Stim, just like an MDub.
I agree.
It's easily the best in multiplayer to just have a Stim shot, especially when the time to kill is... well, no, excuse me, never mind. I just don't like really using stuns in non-respawn game modes because it's too much time in one gunfight where I can just be getting flanked by some other asshole. In a game mode like Search, I don't play much Search, but I imagine I'd be much more inclined to use like a stun in Search, because I'm going to get flanked less often because someone isn't spawning inside me. And if you get a stun on someone, you can just fucking kill them. But in a respawn mode, I'd rather just have a stim, almost certainly. However, bouncing Bettys are now tactical equipment now.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
If I'm not running stim, it's absolutely going to be a bouncing Betty. It's basically just a different type of lethal. And Bettys are cool because you just put that bitch down and then forget about it completely, and it might just fuck around and get you a kill later. That's what I did in Cold War, because bouncing Bettys are a field upgrade, not a tactical, in that game. And I would just throw that bitch down anywhere, off cooldown, and sometimes it would fuck around and get me a kill. I would be inclined to do that as well in Vanguard, but again, stim would have to be really bad for me to consider doing that. Or, which is possible, because there is a stim shot in Cold War, and they nerfed it to where it like doesn't start healing as soon, or it doesn't heal as quickly. So there are ways to make stim bad enough to where I won't want to use it anymore.
That's true.
And also, it's possible that you only get one charge instead of two, like an M-dub, and you can use it only once and then it's consumed and you don't have it anymore. In that case, again, if it's bad enough, then I might opt for a bouncing Betty instead. But in respawn game modes for multiplayer, for me, probably going to be stim, if not Betty. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, it's probably either stun grenades or stims. Probably stims, though. I think we've gotten so used to using stims in like mid gunfight that it'd be weird to switch off of now.
Yeah.
So I like having that, because it's like, even with a low time to kill, say an M-dub, if you get into a gunfight with someone and you kill them before they kill you, because of that low time to kill, you usually one shot at that point. So having the ability to just pop that stim real quick and just keep sprinting is a very good thing to have in the pocket. Another thing in M-dub with stims is it increased your movement speeds for a short amount of time. So they were very, very good in Modern Warfare. Like you're saying, if they're that good in Vanguard, then no question, I don't think there's any other tactical to run in multiplayer besides a stim. But if it's fucking dog shit, like in Cold War, then yeah, I wouldn't run it. So that just entirely depends on it. I pretty much like how they are in M-dub, actually. They are maybe too good, but I don't know. I've never had like an instance where... Well, I guess I have. I was going to say, I've never had an instance where I feel like I shouldn't have died because someone had a stim, but actually that happens all the time. You see kill cams of people hit firing you as they're stimming and healing, so... Yeah. It can be overpowered. That's how
they're balanced, though.
Yeah.
Is that you can't ADS while you're doing it.
Exactly.
Because I've died a lot of times doing a dumb stim, where I would have killed the guy if I wasn't hit firing.
That's true, yeah. You have to pick when to stim and not. You know, there's times where you want to, but then you know... If you don't, you can ADS, get a more accurate shot on the guy, have a better chance of killing him. So, all in all, though, with all that being said, though, I still think stims are probably what I would run if they're as good as I'm thinking they'll be.
Yeah.
Stuns haven't seemed too good in this beta so far, honestly. Doesn't seem like it stuns you for very long, which is a great thing, but also that means I'm not going to run them.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Stims just take too long in multiplayer with respawn mode. It's the same reason I don't like frag grenades. Like, frags are fucking insane, actually. Because if you know two people are in a room, you can kill them both from, like, very far away with a frag. If you cook it well. But that's exactly the issue. Is I've also tried using frags and just died because I'm standing in one spot or one area trying to cook a fucking grenade long enough like an asshole before I throw it. Too much time. Yeah. Stuns are kind of the same thing. It's like, all right, I know this guy's around this corner. I'm going to throw the stun. I need to wait a beat for it to go off. It goes off. Cool. Charge. It's like, all right. Well, in multiplayer terms, you just waited a year. And like two people have already spawned behind you, changed their loadout, and are headshotting you by the time your stun is done. So, I don't know. But yeah, anyways. Anything else, Tanner?
No, I'm sure. As I said, our opinions will be entirely different 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and even a week from now once we actually play the beta, I'm sure. So I'm excited to get my hands on the beta. Make sure to check out our website, boys. You can see us streaming gameplay next week when that goes live. We haven't figured out the schedule yet, but we'll definitely be streaming beta gameplay on Thursday when it's released, which we don't usually do gameplay on Thursday, but we will this next week. So if you guys want to check that out, that should be fun.
And the beta starts at 10 a.m. Pacific time, right?
That's when it should start, yeah. I believe it starts early access for PC and Xbox, I guess, is 10 a.m. on Thursday, and it ends Monday, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So
at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday, the dropshot.com/live will be live.
Yeah.
I don't know which one of us is streaming it, but we will be. Yeah. I'm not waiting. I'm too excited. I will be there the moment I can be.
Yeah.
And we'll broadcast that experience live, of course. So make sure if you want, you're there for that. And while you're there, thedropshot.com, we got links to all of our items. We've got our fucking Discord. We've got our YouTube where video episodes of the program are shown. We got our TikTok, on which we post a fire spicy fucking clip a day. Shout out to Hashling and Sloucher of Magnolia Road Film Company. Change both. For the fire TikToks he continues to provide.
Yes.
And last and most, patreon.com/thedropshot. The Patreon is linked, of course, on thedropshot.com. It's the best way, besides donating $100 United States dollars to the PayPal, to support the program. Patreon's where we offer all of our bonus content. So we do 5 bonus episodes a month. And if you sign up, you get access to all the past bonus episodes, over 60 now. We do weekly hangouts. I cried laughing last night at one of them. You should consider coming to one.
Yeah.
And we do much more. So if you wanted to support the show and waste your money on this trash podcast, PayPal's the first place. Mostly a joke. You should do it on Patreon because that's where you'll get all the benefits. Also, on the topic of gameplay breakdowns, we have 2 in the queue. We're going to get those going again next week. The beta is happening this Thursday. We planned on doing one this week, but we're not. We're playing the beta. Sorry. Get scammed, of course. But we will do the gameplay breakdowns. They will be coming shortly. And on Wednesday, again, very exciting announcement. Upcoming. Be here live for it. Or if you're not going to be here live and you just listen on apps, be a better fan. And also, listen to the announcements on the next episode of the program. You'll want to. Have faith and trust. Other than that, boys and girls, that is it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Have an excellent evening, of course. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.